I'm gonna go to Dio, then I'm gonna go to both Sams. As I haven't said anything yet, but Dio, what you saying, bro, about today?
Today's game, honestly, I think Mikel Arteta went in there to win 1-0. I think he set up that team. Like, I looked at the midfield. You had Odegaard on the bench, your most creative player. You said he has a knock. You don't have Saka. You don't have Havertz. But you played a midfield that is defensive enough. And Ethan did what Ethan did. You know, the boy showed that he's able. But after that goal, Ethan was locked up by Estepinian, which is why I was okay with him bringing in Martinelli, who's a more experienced player, to go against a more experienced defender. Ethan did nothing after that goal, and it's not to his fault. It's because he's going up against an experienced defender. So for me, that penalty was a penalty. Saliba was late. João Pedro got to the ball first. Saliba head-butted him on the side of the face. From me, your front head to the side of the face, it's a foul in the box. It's a penalty, 1-1. And then what does the manager do at 1-1? He brings in the most creative player that he has. That's good in-game management. He brings in Odegaard and takes out Jorginho. This same Jorginho that we don't rate, and Marino and all of them, were the ones who were leading 1-0. This was the squad that was leading 1-0 up until Saliba's. That was in that 30 seconds or that 2 seconds mistake that he made that caused the penalty. Now, after the penalty, we didn't look like we were going to score, but we also didn't look like we were going to let Brighton score against us. That was where I was upset. And of course, with Gabriel Jesus missing that chance earlier in the game, which I thought he should have put away. But yeah, all in all, I think we went.
It was offside. It was offside.
Yeah, he was offside. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, sorry, my bad. He was offside. But my thing is, all in all, like, I was this game was a game that I think Mikel Arteta wanted to just win 1-0. He just wanted to go in there. He's like, I'm going to have to work with what I have. If I go to this place, once I get a goal, I have very defensive midfielders. I'm going to swap Ethan out. I'm sure he had that plan from the get-go, but then Ethan also got injured, from what I understand now. But yeah, it was annoying to drop points, but this game was on Saliba. I think Saliba should have just held his position, allow João Pedro head that ball, and I'll tell you why. And Gabriel should have won the first ball. Once you're in the box, it becomes hard. You just don't.
I hear. Do you know what? Every time I hear someone say it's a penalty, I go, I get where you're coming from. I can see it, and I've always thought they were. All that I've got in my head is, and I've seen a few people tweet this as well. If Saliba grabs his head and holds it on the floor as well, I guarantee you they treat them both and do a drop ball, and they say it's coming together. That's the only thing I'd say about it. And some people, there's a comment that someone said here, Terry, if you go in 2-footed with your studs showing, but get a touch on the ball first, it's still a red card. Yes, because a 2-footed stud showing tackle is a red card whether you win the ball or not. But Terry, I don't. And also, sorry, sorry. Go on.
Can I just finish? I just wanted to add this. Like, when I said that, for me, it was on the players today. Jorginho studying somebody off the ball. That was a red card offense. Like, I was so mad.
So he kicks off. I've not seen the footage of that.
Yeah, it was the penalty. The penalty that João Pedro took. Jorginho got pulled and he reacted and kicked. He laughed out of the other guy.
Okay.
He didn't touch him, but he tried to kick him.
He tried to kick. So my thing was, those individual errors cost us the game today. I think Mikel Arteta set us up to just go win 1-0.
Okay.
Those individual stupid head loss.
But Dio, don't you think that's that Jorginho thing's redundant to bring up? Because who did we see the other week? I think it was a Brighton player, wasn't it?
Pedro, who actually scored the penalty.
Pedro. I was about to say, if you don't make contact now, they've made. I think that's why. What's his face? I think that's guys. I think that's why Van Dijk got away with a red card when he kicked out at Kai Havertz, because he didn't really make full contact with him. And there's a thing on it. But I just on the penalty very quickly. I understand everyone that says it is. Some people have got agendas. If they don't like Arsenal, they don't like Arteta. Some will just say it's a penalty, even if they don't think it is. I've always felt they should be fouls. So someone said, well, how can you defend it? But I just feel like most of the time they're giving us drop balls. And all I'm asking, and I know it's hard for Arsenal fans because you're very emotional right now because you've just dropped points, but I would love to ask ex-referees, current referees, the PGMOL, give us the distinctions. Because I'll give you an example. If that's a penalty, then what David Luiz did to Raul Jimenez should be a red card. He fractured his fucking skull. Right, and you talk about endangering an opponent. If you go, that means every header you win a corner with is theoretically endangering an opponent, because if you miss the ball and hit their head, you could literally end their career. So I just want to get the distinction around why this one. What about when it's like bigger, harder head clashes? Because a lot of the time when you see those head clashes in the middle of the pitch, they never give fouls. you nearly always see one player get the ball to the head first, then the clash happens. They never give them as fouls. So I think they should, by the way. I would love, yeah. So that's my only question about it. You know, that's my only question about it.
Sorry, I just want to throw in one fun fact. One fun fact again. I'm just going to throw. And after this, I got to head on, go help with the baby. Fun fact is this: game week 20 last season, Arsenal were 38 points. This season, we're at 40 points. We lost the season last year by 2 points. I'm not saying we're winning this year, but
last year we were 40,
yeah, sorry,
same points.
Same points. Okay, so we're at the same points that we were last season, literally. And
so we stagnated.
No. So here's what I'm saying, Ash. I'm saying, but there is a narrative that we have dropped off the way people paint it. I'm just saying, look, hey,
it's not true.
We might not look good to the eyes. You might not. The optics might not be great. Right. You know, you might not like the optics, but the points on the board speak. Right now, Liverpool is doing the madness. This was the same thing last season. At this point, Liverpool was 5 points ahead of us. This season, they have a game in hand. I get that, you know, all of that good stuff. But it was the same number of points last season, 5 points at game week 20. You know, so and at game week 38, it was a 7-point swing. So we'll see.
I hear you guys. DJ here, one of our members. Why weren't they giving pens for that in the 90s? Great point, Tel. Yeah, listen, some of you will say I'm having a mare. Some of you will say that I'm speaking nonsense. I think what I'm saying holds a lot of water. I think it holds a lot of water. Just like the handball today that led to the goal against Spurs, we will all be honest. We've all seen goals disallowed for similar handballs. So my question is, I'd love to speak to the referees and understand why the change, why this one was different, and how they're going to look to implement that more consistently moving forward. Because from my perspective, it's about the consistency. I understand why people think today's one's a foul. Equally, like I say, if Saliba goes down holding his head, I guarantee they don't give it. Because whenever I've seen a head clash, any other time, back from the 90s up until last fucking week, every head clash I've ever seen, I've never seen a foul given. It's nearly always.
Did Saliba actually get a touch on the ball? Just out of curiosity, I'm just
he did.
He does, yeah. So
because the reason why I asked this question is if this was a ground tackle and someone knocks the ball past me and I get my toe onto the ball and then I take the play and then I hit the player afterwards, usually that wouldn't be given as a penalty. So because I see a lot of people using that example of it doesn't matter that he got a touch on the ball. He still followed through with the player. So
just to show you guys before we go into that. So this is the slow-mo of it here. I'm going to just slow it down so you can see as the ball comes off Pedro's head. You see the direction the ball's going in, and it looks like it comes off the top here of Saliba's head because you watch the ball go up from that point. So it flies up in the air. So there is a touch, and I've seen that argument as well, Nathan. And I think it holds water. He didn't win the ball, but again, if somebody looks to take the ball around you, so they get the first touch. You slide, your toe touches the ball away from them, but then you trip them up. VAR stops it from being a penalty because you got a touch on the ball. Again, maybe this is different because it's a head and you followed through and hit someone. So maybe that's what it is. I would just love to hear. What the worst part about it is, unless they speak about it on the Sky show with Howard Webb, you know what Dermot Gallagher's saying. He's just going to say, well, it was given. But why? Because it was given. The worst part for us as fans is we're not going to be told. And there might be a rational reason, aside from, I don't know, some of you in the comments, and Terry, but it is a penalty. It is a penalty, isn't an argument. It isn't a penalty, isn't an argument. What I'm stating is I want professionals to explain why it is or it isn't, so we can all learn. Then if it happens again, there's less of a debate, isn't there? So that's all I'm asking for here. Sorry,
what I want to know, and sorry, I'll just say this. What I want to know, and this is something they have to ask the referees or ask Anthony Taylor, why did he look at Joao Pedro for 3 seconds, think about it, and then blow his whistle? If it's a penalty and you saw it's a head clash, fair enough. Because there's no way VAR spoke to you in those 3 seconds and said, by the way, yeah, there's a touch, right? You looked at it, you saw him down, you're looking at him. Imagine 1, 2, 3. Okay, pen. What were you think? I just want to understand from Anthony Taylor.
I like this comment here. Sorry, guys. I like this comment here. It says, no, he hit it onto Saliba's head. So Leon, you make a point, again, that holds water. You could then say, if I play a ball past somewhere, if I've got a ball in my possession and I knock it past the defender and it hits his foot when he's trying to make a tackle, because Saliba was trying to make a header, and then follows through and trips me up, is that a foul because I kicked the ball at his foot? That's why I think you'll be, when I get your point you're making here, but if you then apply that logic to other challenges, and that's why I think these debates are important and why we should be asking questions of the authorities, because I get someone's point. Well, it's been headed against Saliba's head, but he's going for a header. If that's a slide tackle, does it get given as a penalty? Maybe no, but I'd love to know the distinction as to why. And I'll be honest, I don't think anybody in the comments and nobody on this panel knows the answer as to why, i.e., why I should be asking the officials. Sam, over to you.